So there have been a lot of tough days in everybody's lives, not just mine. Uh, Half America's, maybe more than that. Maybe other countries, people from other countries are having tough times right now, not just because of the election fraud or the pandemic. Their hearts are hurting. They're not seeing what people saw years ago, where you could come to a country legally and live a fantastic life. I see that. I see that bit of hope still. I won't back down. I will not stand down. I will be heard one way or another. People made mistakes. On the 6th. I was there in the rally. I saw, I would have to say 200,000 people stand on a lawn, freeze their freaking feet off, hands were frozen, and they didn't move. They wanted to wait patiently to hear and see the President of the United States. I looked around constantly. I was aware of my surroundings. I saw nothing but happiness, people talking. I saw tears of joy. I seen love. Now, I can't be hated for that. I can't be hated for being a part of that. And recently, I've been. There's no reason for it. You shouldn't hate me. I don't hate you. I got some texts when I was there. Hey, man. Now, the phones weren't working. Everybody was on their phones trying to text out and FaceTime and, all the different technologies we have with our phones. None of them were working. I couldn't get a guy that I knew was there to come 300 feet to my left. Or, I'm sorry, 300 feet to his left to come meet with me underneath a light pole because I couldn't send a picture. So there was a lot of people there. There was a lot of stuff going on. It was a good day, but then again, it was a bad day. There was no, hey guys, let's go storm or raid or terrorize the Capitol building. I didn't hear one word of that. That wasn't my plan when I went down there. That wasn't 87% of the people's plans. I would have to guarantee it. Not in their hearts to go inside the building illegally and do whatever they did or whoever did. There were people there that day. I noticed this. I sat back and thought about it that night. There were people there with megaphones. Bottom left scaffolding, bottom right scaffolding, top right scaffolding, top left scaffolding. In certain positions, there was a gentleman inside the building. Now, see, I was under the impression I was in the front of the Capitol building. So when they were saying move forward with these megaphones, these white megaphones with red on them, as the gentleman inside the building was holding, people moved forward. When I got to the top of the steps in the rear of the building, I'm like, where are we moving forward to? What are we doing? Are we trying to go inside the building? And I thought to myself, like, later that night, I said, maybe if we protested in a manner where we turned our backs to the police and we said what we had to say, and maybe, just maybe, that day, and we protested in the right manner, or we celebrated in the right manner, someone would find it in their hearts to let us in the building, not 10,000 people, not 100,000 people, but 40 people. And let those 40 people just those 40 people, their voices be heard. Now, see, this wasn't planned out by a true patriot. This was planned out by evilness. This was planned out by the dark side. I was there. I was on the back side of the building. I was not near the front side. I didn't even know that I was standing in the back side. And I said this before for a little while. You know how it felt to be there on that lawn and listen to people up on the stage be honest? They were being honest. There was nothing, no fraud, nothing going on, no lying, no cheating. I mean, yeah, they're rich. Okay, I get that. Most politicians are. But keep in mind, Donald J. Trump did not take his salary. Donald J. Trump did this for America. He made America great. You may not see it. I can point out things all day long. I choose not to point out those things because you know those things he did right. You know them in your heart. You know them in your gut. I know them. Is he a great man? I think he is. Is he perfect? I'm going to say the same thing everybody else says. Well, you use that route. Yeah, I'm going to use that route. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. I understand that other people voted or support other people. I'm okay with that. Let me give you a prime example of something. Okay? I've been with my other half for 11 years. Okay? And I'm not going to try and bring her into it, but I'm going to state this, and I don't know how you're going to listen to it or take it. I love her with all my heart. Quick example of things that I think are a little weird in this country. I am outside on the front of my lawn, okay, that I've been here for going on, people that know me, I think it's like 6 years I've been living at the same house, 7 years. And a lot of people have been here. I try to unite a lot of people every year. Come around July 4th time. So this time I said to myself, I'm going to take a Trump 2020 flag and I'm going to put it out on my lawn. So me and my son, he's 4 years old, very smart kid, beautiful kid. He's out there with me. We're hammering in the poles. We're zip tying the sign. And then I got him to do I wasn't, if he doesn't want to say Trump 2020, he could have went inside. That's the freedoms that we have. I would have never spanked my kid on the butt and said, you have to stand in front of this sign and scream 2020, Trump 2020 train. But he likes trains, so he saw the train, and that was a good catch for him. Take that how you want it. I'm not trying to force him to be a Trump 2020 fan. He doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be a 49er fan. He doesn't have to be a Philadelphia Phillies fan. He doesn't have to be a Chicago Bulls fan. These are things that I like, but I don't make my kids do that. I don't force them to. Would I like them to? Hell yeah, who wouldn't? So back to the sign. We're out on the lawn, and we're hammering in the sign, and I'll give this example probably forever. And it's not to degrade my other half. I love her. She knows I love her. But it's, I'm hammering in the sign, and we're out there, and she comes out on the porch. She says, take that sign down. And I said, what did you say? She said, take that down. And I said, hold on 1 second here. I said, I assumed, but I'm not saying she supports Biden, but I got a little angry and I said, you get your Biden flag, you go on the other side of the yard, you hammer 2 poles in the ground, you put your Biden flag up. I have nothing against that. The conversation went nowhere after that. We didn't argue about it. I just wanted to throw that out there to you guys. I understand there's hate for Mr. Donald J. Trump, the president, the greatest president in decades. You can't argue that. You know what he has tried to do for America. He didn't do this for fame. He already had fame back in the 80s. My grandmother had a crush on him. He didn't do this for fame. I remember my grandmother saying that she saw him at one of the casinos and she loved Donald Trump. I remember Oprah on the video with him. I remember him being in the movie Home Alone 2. I remember Back to the Future 2 kind of like saying, that's Donald J. Trump, the big tower and the Trump Tower. Listen, I'm not saying that I like the guy and I said, Donald J. Trump for years before the election, and I didn't really get too involved. I sat back and looked at things. And that election came around, be honest with you, I didn't watch it. I had to work the next day. I had to get up early the next day and go to work. So I said to myself, my dad's pretty good with time. He'll call me. And I didn't check anything the next day. My dad called me early in the morning and said we won. And I said, well, what do you mean we won? He says, Donald J. Trump won the office. You believe that? And I said, well, I'm listening to you, so I believe it. And things started to change. For the first time in 10 years, Social Security got a raise. That's one thing. I don't need to point out all the good things he's done. I'm not as smart, and I can't remember or write down LOL numbers and whatever else was passed or whatever else he did. I know some things he did, okay? And I know what he's trying to do. If you don't get that picture, there's a problem. And I'm not saying you're an idiot. I'm not saying you're an asshole. I'm not saying things that are out of line. I'm not going to call you names, call you crazy, call you a traitor. But he was only trying to help America. Remember what I said about this. There was 150,000 plus people there. The mayor of D.C. tried to shut down hotels because she didn't want people there. Honestly, I think I would have raised security, called in security companies, paid them, paid the police, offered money to the police to say, hey, listen, come stand guard just in case there's any problems. There were reports days and probably weeks before that. I call them red balloons. That's my new name for them because I don't want to be a racist. So I look at someone that's evil from this point on. I'm not going to call them by the color of their skin, the look of their face, the gender of their body. I'm going to call them a red balloon. So there were red balloons. People were posting, be careful, Gary. Red balloons are going to be dressed up as Trump supporters. Trump supporters are going to be dressed up as this and that. And I put that aside. I didn't think about that. I thought about going to celebrate with the President of the United States. Being, 2,000 feet away from him. 1,000 feet away from him. And I thought, maybe I'd get close, get an autograph, a picture. I mean, why not hope a little bit? It would be pretty cool to do that. And I think anybody would want to do that, even if you hated the man. I think deep down inside your stomach and your heart and your self-being, you would want to do that. It's the President of the United States, regardless if you like him or not. But I see so much hate. I've never seen so much hate before. I've had 3 people, maybe 4, maybe more that I don't know about, delete me off of Facebook, call me a racist. Now, those of you who know me, and I have a lot of good friends, and I have a lot of faithful friends, and I don't turn my back on my friends. Those of you who know me know that I'm not a racist. Just because I support a man who you think is racist, which I haven't seen proof of that. I've been around white people that are racist. And my friends from different nationalities, no names, just people, know that I've been around people, close friends, that are racist. And I've asked certain of my friends, certain people, I said, hey, listen, do you want me to tell you if somebody's racist or not? Do you want me to let you know that this person is racist? And they said this to me, and I'll take this in and I'm going to spit it out to you. They said to me, and I'll keep this with me forever, I want to know who my enemies are. Wouldn't you, Gary? And I said, you know what? I'm not the smartest person in the world. I'm not the tastiest cookie in the jar. And some things I say sound crazy to you because I'm not as educated as you. But what comes out of my mouth or whatever I put to the text or the keyboard, I usually mean it. Now, will I have to backpedal a second and think about it before I hit the send button or before I hit the enter button? Yeah. But I don't review it. I don't proofread it sometimes. Nobody's fucking perfect, people. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. We went through this. Everybody knows this. I live my life to the fullest. I like to unite people. You should know that. I like to have a good time. And you know what? I had a great time down there. Am I sad? Yeah. Am I mad? Fuck yeah. Who wouldn't be? Did people make mistakes that day? Yeah, I did. Who doesn't? Did the mistakes cost lives? Yes. Is there people willing to live with that mistake and be upset and emotional? Yes. Is there people willing to live with that mistake and be happy? Yes. These are all choices. Choices that we were given when we were born. I chose to go a certain way. You chose to go a certain way. Most people chose to go a certain way. Listen, I do love a lot of people, but I'm seeing a lot of hate just because I like somebody. You know? It all goes back to, I'll let you know who your enemies are. If you need to know, I'll tell you. I have no problems with that. I'm not your enemy. I'm your friend. I'm your family. I try to get along with as many people as possible. And if you know me, you know that. I invite people that don't even talk to me to my house. I invite, and I won't stop doing that. I'm not that kind of person to stop. We need this, America. We need to wake up. We need to look at things and not just in one way, but always. And you can agree to disagree or disagree to agree. I hear this a lot. I'll give you another example of hate, I think. I think there was some hate and some, not hate, maybe spitefulness. There is 6 to 7 of us, you know, what do you call us? Trumpies, Trumpers, what do you call us? I call us Trump supporters. What do some people call us? You know, racism people, there's a whole bunch of names for us. But, you know, we're walking down the street. We're minding our own business. We got our hats on. Or I have my megaphone. You know me. I like to carry a megaphone with me. It's a gray one. I think the handle's white. I say those colors because I don't want to be in a certain group of people that had a certain color of megaphones, which I thought was weird that night, and I didn't think about it. But back to the walking down the street. Walking down the street, 4 or 5, maybe 7 of us, I don't know. You know, I meet people, I get along with them, I talk to them, regardless if they're a supporter of this or that. And there's a gentleman that's kind of like eyeing us up. Now, he's clean cut. He's got a mask on. Most of the Trump supporters don't typically wear masks. Most of the people out in the streets in other states that I've been in, or at least Jersey, I mean, yeah, you're wearing a mask when you're out going in the parking lot to go in the store, but when you're walking down the street, I see joggers, they're not wearing masks. But in D.C., it's different there. They're wearing masks. I'm okay with that. Wear your mask. I'm not against that. So this gentleman's wearing his mask. He's very clean cut, very, very nice shirt, pants, shoes. He's walking around. He's looking. This is right when we leave, when we're told by the president. He kind of said, you know, go home, leave quietly, leave safely. The election fraud took place. We know that it was a crooked election. Please go home safely, peacefully. And I heard the message. Someone played it on a black megaphone. And I listened to it and I said, you know, okay, well, I had 2 females with me. They were shaking like leaves. I felt bad for both of them. I constantly asked if they need to stay warm. But back to walking down the street. Sorry, I'm rambling. There was about 7 of us and him. So he decided to say something to us. Now, there's a way to go about saying something to somebody where you can get your point across, obviously, or saying it where you need to be a complete a-hole. This version of what he said, or whatever he said in the beginning, I didn't hear the beginning. The second part I kind of heard where he said, and we won the Senate. Okay, now he's by himself. He's in D.C., so he probably is either living there or he feels comfortable, you know, walking the grounds there. He wasn't dressed very warm, so he wasn't outside long. That's my little bit of detective work, because you had to put some layers on. You had to put some boots if you knew how to dress warm, gloves. It wasn't freezing, but the wind made it cold. So back to what he was saying. He said to me, he said to us, well, we won the Senate too. Now, my sister is very emotional about the whole thing. I wanted to say something to him. So I watched her reaction to it. And it made her mad, and it made some of the other people with us mad. People that were just walking by got mad at this guy because we were kind of like standing there talking to him. We got to the street corner, and me and him started talking about this, okay? And I calmed down the group. Everybody calmed down. It wasn't a big group, just a little group. And the police were behind us, and it was about 6:15 p.m. So the curfew thing, the police weren't too worried about us standing on the street corner talking for about 45 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. Maybe less, a little bit less, but it was a little bit of a while. And we were standing in front of the police cars. They weren't interested in coming out saying, listen, get home safe. We need you to get home. The curfew's at 6. Just to put that on record. I don't know, you guys weren't there. I was there. If you were there, that was, God bless you. God bless America. So anyways, we were talking, and I got to talking to him about, voter fraud. Of course, some people believe it, some people don't. I'm a firm believer of it. I watched the Georgia video. So that's one thing I go back to. Because, all this hearsay about ballots, I don't know the Dominion machines. I don't know Wi-Fi. And those of you that know me, I'm not a computer guy. I can get on a phone and post a video like this, but I don't know that stuff. But would I like to know it? Freak yeah, because then I can be aware of what's really going on. And we started talking about it, and he says there was no voter fraud. There was no proof. I said, well, let me explain something to you, okay? That's why we have judges, lawyers, jury members, people to decide if there's proof or not. Mr. President has not been heard in a courtroom. There hasn't been a judge present. There hasn't been jurors present. There hasn't been, I don't know her name, the little typing lady. She hasn't been present. There hasn't been witnesses in the back of the courtroom present. There hasn't been evidence, which they say they have, presented. There hasn't been this. It hasn't happened. His first response to me was 60 times. I'm like, no. No. I don't know where you're getting your information from. But just because you go in front of a commission of legislative people or representatives or senators or House of Representatives or police officers or just people, and you say you have evidence, that doesn't mean anything. It has to be presented in the court of law. It has to be heard. Wednesday, we wanted to be heard. That's all we wanted when we got down to the Capitol building. Nobody was saying on our way down there, on the rally on the front of the lawn. It wasn't even a rally. It was a peaceful moment in time. Get this. I'm going to make you laugh here, hopefully. We get in this goddamn crazy line. It's got to be 78 miles long, and I say to myself, we're never going to get to see the president. It's not 78 miles, but I mean, it's long. Ask the people that were with me. People that I just met. No names. They know who they are. So, we're in line, and this line goes around this building, down this sidewalk, around the front, through the President's Park. Oh, man, if you saw it, it was incredible. I was just like, I am okay. I'm a patient person. Let's get in this line. So then people are telling me, you can't wear book bags. You can't wear this. You can't get in. You're not going to see the president like that. All of a sudden, these rules are in effect, all right? And I said, well, it's security. It's the president. We can't have anything in a book bag, or we can't have a hairdryer in there, or we can't have anything that's going to hurt anybody. I understand there's rules. I'm willing to take everybody's book bags, sacrifice a possible visit with the president, close to him. It's exciting being close to famous people. You all know it is. Don't say it isn't. Even if it was like Elvis, or if it was Snoop Dogg, or, you're walking through the supermarket and you see somebody that's famous. You might not say it's exciting, but you feel a little bit of excitement somewhere in your body. It's just, hey, you saw Dr. Dre hanging out with Snoop Dogg, and You walk by them at the supermarket, you feel a little bit of excitement. So I'm willing to hold these people's bags. These people that I don't even know, carts. They got carts with chairs. One lady had a pull-up bathroom with a tent. I said, listen, I'll take all this stuff. I'll stand outside the gate. I'll stand where I am, and I will cheer for president, and I will guard your stuff. No, Gary, you can't do that. Just put the book bag down, put your megaphone down, put your speaker down, and come in with us. I said, I won't do that. I didn't know that we couldn't carry stuff with us, although I should have, but I just thought, I still like to have my megaphone. I still like to have my voice heard. I still like to have my music, my patriotic and country and music with me, stuff that I like to listen to. There's rap on there too. But I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to. It was just a choice that I made. It was back to choices. I made a choice to hold these people's items that I don't even know. They were willing to trust me with their items and stand there and hold all these carts and things they were carrying and let them have a better time with the president. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but that just came out on me. I just said it. I'll hold your stuff while you go up. Have a good time with the president. It didn't happen. This line that I was telling you about was like, I don't know if it was a mile long or not, but it was freaking long, okay? And you're talking 4 people width wide, 4 to 6 people width wide, and it had to be a mile long, the way it wrapped around the monument. So